Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Tszyu.S.A is back, and he is planning on having a huge campaign and a huge run at 154 pounds. Now, he's got his hands full as he gets ready to compete for the IBF strap against Bakram Murtazaliev. But this is the thing, right? I still got to cross my fingers and hope the fight happens because these guys are fighting out there, man, at the Caribbean Royal Casino there in Orlando, Florida. And you know, Orlando just got hit with the hurricane, so I don't know how the fight's gonna go, how the attendance is gonna go. I don't know. I just think Tszyu.S.A is gonna catch his ass a little bit with the whole organization of the event. I even think there's gonna be issues with him getting his money because I just don't think the event's gonna get the support it would have received. Why they had the damn fight there, I don't know. But anyway, it's taking place this Saturday out there in Orlando, Florida. But he has his eyes on three fights, three big fights. First, you got to get past Murtazaliev. But if you listen to Tszyu.S.A, man, he's saying, you know what, in 2025, in a perfect world, if I was able to get my way, I want to fight Crawford, I want to fight Spence, I want to fight Charlo. And I'm going to tell y'all right now, that would never happen, okay? So he can forget about it. But one thing he says that makes sense, he starts talking about the stock of fighters, and the stock of fighters going up, and the stock of fighters going down. Right now, Terence Crawford's stock is up. Earl Spence's stock is down. Charlo's stock is down. Earl Spence being inactive, coming off a knockout, a bunch of injuries. People still talking about the car accident that he was in. I don't think many people, when it comes to Earl Spence, I think there's a demand to see him fight, but I don't think there's much expected as far as from an Earl Spence performance anymore. Charlo, man, ascended to the top of the 154-pound division. He earned it the hard way, right? Then he went and fought Canelo, turned into a boxer runner, and disappeared. Got his little $20 million off in the breeze in Houston somewhere, chilling, eating goddamn steak, chicken fried steak. But anyway, let's see what happens with who's winning fights and who's losing fights. Because all Tszyu.S.A has to do is win. Now, Tszyu.S.A, who has 17 KOs out of 24 fights, he has the one loss to Cockroach Man, Sebastian Fundora, which to me was a fluke. He's speaking, when he starts talking about stock going up and down, he knows how that shit can affect a fighter. He went through it. You know what I'm saying? With the Sebastian Fundora fight. Tszyu.S.A knows his back is against the wall. Now, you may say, damn, Hood Champion, you're biased. I'm not biased. I just like Tszyu.S.A, man. I was sold on Tszyu.S.A after he had that year where he fought Tony Harrison, I think Ocampo. He fought three fighters, man. But I didn't expect him to beat those guys. I'm going to be honest. That's when I said, yo, he's the truth. And when he fought Fundora, I said he's going to knock him out. Didn't quite go that way. But he knows what happened because with him taking that loss, you look at how these sanctioned bodies and secret society started jostling fighters and jostling title fights and who's going to fight here, who's going to fight the next couple of months, we're now going to push back a few more months. You can see that there's someone back to like a puppet master and kind of pulling the strings and kind of dictating what's going to happen next. And Tszyu.S.A is finally back in play. And I don't think that he's going to allow his fate to be adversely affected again, especially when he can take control of his own fate in that ring with these bing-bings. I just don't think he's going to let that happen. Now, Murtazaliev, he's going to have something to say about that. But I think Tszyu.S.A is going to take control of his fate, and he's going to get a win this week, and I think he gets a knockout. But fighters only being as good as their last performance. Tszyu.S.A has got to figure it out because coming off of that bloodbath loss to Sebastian Fundora via split decision, look, there's some people who don't take him serious anymore. You know why? Because he doesn't have a title. He lost his title, and let me fix this. And there's some people who don't take him serious anymore. And that's unfortunate, you know. But he's been living over in the United States for the last 3 months. And I think he's using this as an opportunity to really get himself in shape and prepared for this fight so he can give a solid account of himself. And he saw him spending time with his father. You see him coming to the States, leaving his family, out here locking in, getting focused. That tells me everything I need to know about Tszyu.S.A and what he plans on doing when he gets in the ring this weekend. He wants to be back in the spotlight because he wants to be in another big matchup with a big payday. And I think he's going to get it, especially if he comes in and he does the business of Murtazaliev, which won't be easy to do. But if he can do it, Tim Tszyu is right back in the mix. Right back in the mix. And he, of course, will have every right to call out the big names. And out of all those fights he talked about, Charlo, Spence, Crawford, I think he should fight Virgil Ortiz. But I'm going to tell y'all right now, I should save this for another video. Virgil Ortiz ain't going to fight Tim Tszyu. He is not going to fight Tim Tszyu. He's gonna take it to the goddamn stupid and duck that Aussie, oi, oi, oi. He don't want shit to do with the Aussie Bing Bings. That's my opinion. He's lucky. They robbed Bohachuk because Bohachuk put the goddamn Ukrainian Bing Bings on Virgil Ortiz. But it is what it is. But that is the fight to make. And I think it should be on a Riyadh season card because Golden Boy is working with Saudi. Tim Tszyu doesn't seem to have much of an interest in working with Saudi. He should be careful going and fighting Virgil Ortiz anywhere because it seems like Virgil Ortiz has got, like he's the golden child and shit. I don't understand how Virgil Ortiz is being, just pushed to be the next big thing at 154. I don't understand because I don't think he's the same fighter that he was at 147, but that's just me. Anyway, man, I think he can't afford to find himself losing, especially under those kind of circumstances. Any big fight, subsequent big fight is going to be, canceled, right? So I think him and Virgil is a fight to make. They're both young. Some people feel there's no need to rush certain fights, but I think for both of them and where they want to go, there's a need to make that fight happen sooner than later. They were supposed to fight anyway. Tim Tszyu got the cut over his head and messed up everything, but that was the fight supposed to be made. And they would have fought. I think Tim Tszyu would beat him. I just think Tim Tszyu beats up most of these guys, man. But there's still some time left on these guys, man, if they don't fight next. But out of all the fights out there, I think this is the fight to make. But if Tim Tszyu looks good, I don't think De La Hoya's going to want to make that fight. Turki Al-Sheikh may reach out to Tim Tszyu because he believes in putting on 50-50 fights. But I don't think they're going to want to mess with him. They're going to say, hell no. This man had Fundora in trouble. He is coming off of 3 big wins, had Fundora in trouble. The stars just lined up for Fundora where he cut Tim over the head, and that affected the rest of the fight. Then he comes back and knocks out Murtazaliev and becomes the IBF champion. Hey, I'm telling you, Tim Tszyu going to struggle getting fights. They're not going to want to fight him. That's just my opinion, man. They're going to say, you know what? We'll consider it. And that's about as far as the negotiations will go, as them saying they're going to consider it. But we'll see what happens because if he's able to beat Murtazaliev and get himself back in the mix, get himself a title, and then I think he's going to be in a better position to kind of call some shots. But I'm just not sure he's going to be able to get Crawford in the ring. I just think him getting a Crawford fight's the ultimate. And I think Crawford's like, I'd rather fight a guy like Canelo or someone where I can make 50, 60, $100 million. Take a loss there if I'm going to lose. But not fight someone like Tim Tszyu where I get maybe 20, 25 million and take a loss. Even though Crawford believes in himself. Crawford, you can just look. Crawford could have fought already. But he's really trying to line up a huge payday. And all these guys are kind of chasing after him because they want the name on their resume. But that's just a hard meal to digest, boy, messing around with Terrence Crawford, because Terrence Crawford can fight. But let's see what happens. I'm very interested in seeing what happens with him, man. Styles make fights. Him and Murtazaliev. But with everything he has in front of him, man, I just think you're going to hear from Tim Tszyu, especially now that he's training in the States, you're going to hear him say yes to whatever he gets offered. I don't think he's going to turn nothing down. I think he wants to fight, and I think he wants to live the American dream. And I think he wants to get the big knockouts and big wins. And I think that's why he's here in the States. He even said, look, I'm living here now. And he calls it, it's not even USA, it's Tszyu.S.A. So that tells me that he's here to do the job. He ain't here to go back to Australia unless he has a title and unless he's had some big fights lined up. So let's see what the future holds. But I just think Tim Tszyu, those 3 names he wants, Charlo, Spence, and Crawford, I think Virgil Ortiz is the fight to make. But out of those 3 names, maybe Charlo. But I still think Charlo's going to want one or two return fights before he messes with those guys. I don't think Earl Spence is gonna mess with him. And Crawford, unless Crawford gets some huge money, I just don't see it. But the bottom line is, he gets past Murtazaliev. Maybe they make the Ortiz fight since they already had that solidified. And if not, I don't know who he fights. But he just needs to stay active. Anyway, keep cool. Tim Tszyu all day. And as a matter of fact, I think even we should start saying that we're living in the good old Tszyu.S.A. as long as he's got his goddamn feet on the ground out here. Y'all keep cool. I'm in the breeze.